Hello, this is a brief introduction about the enow digital platform for operations management, which is specific to manufacturing industries to help digitalize their processes. So we will first go through the admin section of this platform, and then we will go to the day-to-day operations. So I'm logging in as an administrator. So the specific feature of enow platform is that it's highly configurable. So starting from the unit division level to particular having a particular application, segregating all your works into different workspaces and creating different applications underneath them. For each application you can also specify roles, so that everyone will have a role based access, and also we can define specific workflows, defined workflows for any use cases. And for all the workflows and all the applications, you can set predefined performance measures which are also configurable. You can define all the KPIs and you can monitor them regularly. And also you can set up the stakeholder communication here itself through the admin console itself, so that like for every event in a particular workflow, so automatic emails or message notifications will get triggered to the concerned stakeholders. So it's totally configurable. So I will take you through a brief overview of the organization setup. So here you can define the various units and the division, like refinery 1, refinery 2. So under that various divisions like crude unit, FCCU, etc. So it's a high level definition of units and divisions under your organization. And we also have a input for customer and vendor. Here you can maintain all your customers and vendors, and there is a detailed user management screen is also available, so using which you can maintain all your users with the different roles. So then we have organization level roles and calendar. So all the KPIs, they will be linked to this calendar. They will be measured based on this calendar. And we can also define several departments under the organization, like electricals, pumps, mechanical, and so on. So under workspace we can separate the different works of the organization into workspaces. So here we have operations management as one workspace. So under that we have field monitoring and operations logbook as applications. So we will be going through a brief of the field monitoring system. So as I mentioned earlier, you can define also the roles of a particular application, so that like you can see there is a field executive, maintenance executive, engineer. So each of these roles will have different access level to particular portions of the screen, so it's totally configurable. So now I will take you through the app admin portion of the application admin. This is like an admin for specific to a particular application, the field monitoring application that we talked about. So we will go through the admin portion specific to that particular application. So here we have defined locations. For example, in a big factory area you might have several locations, and they can be configured here. And there can be many major equipments also, so the major equipments can be defined here. And equipment tags, these are the lowest level of inspection that is going to be carried out for inspection or monitoring. So this tags, they can be configured, the type of input they are going to get, whether a manual or from an API from a server, that can also be configured. So I'll just show a simple example. So we can define under which unit and which division they are coming in. We can define the department. It can have a unique tag ID and a description, and we can say whether it's a string type of value, a text value, or a numeric kind of value. And we can also define the input type, whether it is manual or automatic. If it is manual, it will be filled in by the field executive who goes on for monitoring, or if it is automatic, we can specify an input URL here. So from an external or an internal server, so it will directly fetch the details from that URL. And we can also define the range and the various operating conditions here, like alarm high, alarm low. So it will automatically trigger given alarm based on the values noted during monitoring. We can also apply a frequency, and we can also add a checklist. Like instead of a single value notation, we can also make it like a checklist format, and we can attach instructions document also to every tag. So these are the several of the tags that have been configured for demo purpose. Now major tag config. So here we are just grouping the tags under major equipments. Several, it's like a grouping of tags under a major equipment. So then we have an option to have checklists also, like apart from the individual point wise monitoring. So some of the equipments, they can have checklists, and they can also be configured here so that the field executive can go and fill it up. And we also have the feature of having a QR code. So the QR code will be can be made to be generated automatically based on the unique identification provided by the client company, and that can be attached in the application itself. So it can be printed out, and it can be pasted in the particular locations of the inspection area. Here we will see a brief overview of the field patrol or the field monitoring system of the enow digital platform. So I'm logging is as a supervisor or a department engineer, you can say. So now we are going to look at focus on remote monitoring, field monitoring or remote monitoring, we can call it anyway. So once the department engineer logs in to this system, so he'll be able to see all the various tags, the equipment tags that are associated under his department. Only those that are associated with this department will be visible here, and their last data, their history can be seen. By clicking that, you can see the entire history, like all the readings taken from the start. So that will be there, and the engineer will also be able to see like when it was done and who did it, updated by who, and there is also filter to filter out entries based on the dates. So now you can see there is a checkbox available at the various at the leading portion. So using this, we can assign this to the field executives. So we can so we will do two things. One is a checklist based, and another one is a value based. So you can see here there is an heading called checklist, under which you have a cross mark and a tick mark, which means if tick mark means it's a checklist based tag. So it will have a set of questions instead of having some numerical value like that. So I'm just going to select these two, heat exchanger 2, heat exchanger 1, these two, and now I'm just going to click assign. So after assign, a list of technicians or field executives who are under this department, they will be listed out here. So we can just select someone and then assign it to them. So I'm going to select select INS user 33. Okay, save. So now you can see the request has been assigned successfully. We get a pop-up message, and also the select checkbox has been disabled here, which means this has been assigned. So unless the next inspection date comes, or the particular executive fills up completes this assignment, then we will not be able to assign this to someone else again. So now we will go over to the field executive part. once the executive has filled in their entry, so automatically we can the supervisor or the engineer will be able to view the latest changes in the system. So we will just go to the tags that we had assigned to user 33, so which was this T1011, the checklist based one and the value based one. So we can just see that their status is closed, which means the executive, the field monitoring person has completed his job, and we can see the latest values through the history. In the history everything will be available. So here you can see, and there's also color coding. We have a customized color coding such that based on the range value that we are defining, we can define color code such that it's easy to identify if any parameter is within or out of range. So, thank you.